Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am Luke Ness Monster. Today we do have some Star Wars The Black Series news to go over. We also have the Vintage Collection news as well. We're going to be going over all of the reveals and pipeline figures, everything that pretty much came out of the Fan First Wednesday livestream that Hasbro hosted today. And there is quite a bit of news to go over, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. If you are not yet subscribed, go down, hit that like button, and subscribe to stay up to date with everything Star Wars The Black Series and Vintage Collection. Also, it just really helps me out on the channel a lot, and means a whole lot more to me than you guys actually know. And if you do want to support the channel in other ways, go down, consider hitting that join button. Like I said, really helps out. It's just another way of supporting the channel. Anyway, on to the news. So first up, we're actually going to be talking about reveals first, and then we're going to move on to pipeline figures. There was actually only 7 total reveals in this. 5 of them were the Black Series, 2 of them were Vintage Collection. Starting off with the Black Series, Archive Wave 6 was revealed. This was one that was pipelined previously and consists of these figures. First up is C-3PO from A New Hope. They kind of like, in this stream, they're talking about like how they really liked what they did with the paint apps, and they thought it was pretty accurate to the film. I guess I kind of chuckled when I heard this because, you know, in the film he's nice shiny chrome and he's not in this, so I don't know, that's just one thing I thought like they sounded like really proud of it, and I don't know, I don't get me wrong, it looks great and I think it's a big paint apps improvement over the last version of C-3PO, but it's still not chrome C-3PO, and that's something that I really like to see. This is one of those figures that I'm not like too terribly excited about getting an archive release. He's not a figure in need of a photoreal update, and he's rather cheap on the aftermarket, so just getting him as an archive release just seems like a waste of a spot. I already know he's going to peg warm, and I just think of all those other figures we could get instead of him that could actually use a photoreal update. Next up is Skiffgard Lando. This is another figure. He the previous figure already had the photoreal application, and so the point of the archive release, he doesn't need a photoreal application. And then, of course, he's also rather cheap on the aftermarket as well, going between $20 and $30. So he's right still at about retail price for a figure. Like I said, another waste of a spot for an archive release. And if you look at the history of Lando's peg warm really hard. So getting a whole nother version of Lando, we're going to have 3 versions of Lando all on the shelf at the same time. I still see Empire Strikes Back Landos on the shelf. I'm definitely seeing the Return of the Jedi Landos. And then once these hit stores, we're going to start seeing these ones as well. That is a lot of Landos. Wait, next up is the Emperor. The Emperor looks great. I am really glad that this one is getting an archive release. He's super expensive on the aftermarket, and the only other previous version we had of him was the really bad version, I guess, that didn't have the movable legs. So this is a great version of the Emperor to get. I do wish he maybe included some of his shocky hands, but he only comes with a cane as an accessory. It is what it is, and this is going to be a good way to get the Emperor if you don't have him. Last up for the archive release is Dengar. Dengar is awesome. He was super expensive on the aftermarket, and he was in need of a photoreal update, so this Dengar is an awesome choice for an archive release, and he's looking really amazing as well. So yeah, super stoked about Dengar. He definitely needed an archive release. So I'm gonna give, you know, this archive wave 50%, obviously, because 2 of the figures I think are really good and 2 of them are really bad. Not my ideal choices, but like I said, Emperor and Dengar are awesome. Next up for Black Series reveals, we actually did get another Gaming Greats figure added to the line. It is the I guess just another version of the Gaming Greats Night Brother. This is the one with the Electro Night Brother bow. You know, it's pretty cool. I'm glad we're getting more army builders and stuff like this. It's just not one that I was super interested in. But, you know, I don't have to be interested in every figure. I think that I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad we're getting more army builders and villains for Cal Kestis in the Fallen Order line. And this is an alright choice. It is just a repaint of the previous Night Brother, so there's not a ton new. It does come with a brand new mold for the bow, which is pretty cool, and it does have some pretty sick paint apps. But like I said, just not one that I was super interested in. You know, GameStop's having hard enough time shipping out the first Night Brother in the US, let alone another one. So we'll see about that. And I don't know if this sounds stupid or not, but the Night Brother has his bow, but he doesn't have any arrows for it, so it just looks kind of dumb. I don't know if that's just me that noticed that, but like, he's a Night Brother with a bow, but with no arrows to shoot, so yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to point that out. All of these Black Series figures will go for pre-order tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I don't think I'm going to pre-order any of these. Dengar's pretty cool, but I do think that all the archive are going to show up in stores eventually, so that's probably when I will pick them up. And I could honestly care less about the Night Brother. Pretty cool for anybody that wanted him, but I think I'm going to have to pass. Next up is TVC Reveals. We did get one figure and then one playset. Playset is pretty cool, I do have to say, but starting off with the figure, it is the Clone Wars 501st Trooper. This is a pretty cool figure, I do have to say. I am pretty glad we are finally getting this one on card. We've had it previously in the Vintage Collection before, but this is just another version of it. I think this is the first time it being packaged as the Clone Wars version rather than the Revenge of the Sith version, but it is still awesome. Of course, it has a removable helmet and everything. Super cool. I really do like this figure. It's pretty cool. The TVC playset is actually Jabba's Palace or Boba's Palace or Bib Fortuna's Palace, whatever you want to call it. It's a Jabba's Palace playset, and it is pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. I actually really like this one. I wish we could get something like this in Black Series scale, but, this thing comes with a ton of accessories. It does come with a fat Bib Fortuna as the figure. Comes with, like I said, a ton of accessories, and overall, I just really like this. It is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, though, and will retail for $230, which is really expensive. I don't really know if it's worth that much. Like I said, I don't really collect TVC that much, so I can't really dictate what I think it's worth for the price-wise. But it does look super cool, and me just thinking about this, if they're able to put up a $230 set like this as a main release, like not a main release, but as a release that's not a HasLab, why can't they do something like that for Black Series? Give us some Black Series playsets in that $200 to $250 price range. That's not a HasLab. I don't know. I mean, people that collect Black Series like world building sets too. They like vehicles, stuff like that. I don't understand why they haven't done more stuff like that. Both of these TVC items, I guess, one, the figure and the set, both go for pre-order tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Pretty cool. Like I said, I am a big fan of the playset there. I do wish we got more Black Series playsets, though. Real quick, before you get into the pipeline reveals, I just want to talk about the normal reveals. And overall, I think they were kind of lackluster. I'm not going to lie. 4 of the 5 figures that got revealed today for the Black Series were already pipelined, and it's not like one of those things where like you get a pipeline figure, but you're seeing the figure for the first time in hand. Because these are all archive figures, so we already knew what the figures look like. They're not a surprise. So it's one of those things like, yeah, it's cool. I'm glad we're getting the archive wave, and I'm glad we're finally getting images of them. But I would have liked some more actual reveals. And for the Night Brother, like I said, Night Brother's cool. I'm glad we're getting more Game of Greats figures and more army builders for Fallen Order. It's just not a figure that I was super interested in. TBC, though, I thought went pretty good. I really love that 501st Trooper. And then, like I said, I actually really do like the Jabba's Palace playset. I have heard a lot of people say it's a little overpriced. Like I said, I'm not a huge TVC collector, so I don't really know the whole like price scale and everything and whether it's worth it or not, but I do think it does look really cool. And like I said, I really wish they would do more $200 to $250 Black Series sets like that. Anyway, jumping into Pipeline, we actually got a total of 7 Black Series Pipeline figures, which is pretty cool. We got more Black Series pipelined than we actually did get revealed, which is interesting. But first up, we got the next wave of Archive pipelined, and this is not a wave that I'm super happy about. First up in the wave is the Force Awakens Han Solo? What? Like, don't get me wrong, I know he's in dire need of a photoreal update, but does anybody actually care about Force Awakens Han Solo? I don't know, man. This is so crazy. I love Han Solo, and I like Han Solo in The Force Awakens. I just don't really think that he needed an archive release. I don't know. He's like $8 on eBay right now. Like, I don't know. Yay, I guess. He's getting photoreal. I don't know. Next up is A New Hope Chewbacca. This is a solid release. I think Chewbacca is a great figure and all. Like I said, he's just rather cheap on the aftermarket, and he doesn't need any photo upgrades. So for me, like I said, kind of a waste of a spot, because I can go get the exact same figure right now on eBay for around retail price. So why wait, a few months for a pre-order to ship when I can just go buy one right now? After that is actually Grand Moff Tarkin. This is a figure that I have mixed opinions about. He is a decently cheap / expensive figure on the aftermarket, depending if you get a good deal on it. He goes between $25 and $30 on average, so he's a little bit a little bit, just a smidge higher than retail, but I think if you got it from the right place and you really looked for a deal, you could get him for retail price. Or if you wanted to get him out of box, he is rather cheap out of box as well. So it's one of those things, like, he doesn't need photoreal, and he's decently cheap. So I think that this one is a little bit more acceptable than the other ones because he is still a little expensive on the aftermarket. But he's still affordable enough that I don't think he requires an archive release. Last up, I am super happy this figure is getting an archive release. It's actually Bouche Leia. This figure we've been asking for a re-release of forever. It's been a long time since we've got her released in the Black Series, and it's actually really nice we're getting her. This was a figure that was in dire need of a photoreal update, so I'm glad that this figure is getting a photoreal update, and plus she was decently expensive on the aftermarket as well because she was pretty rare and hard to find. Only problem is her articulation kind of sucks, so I think I much rather would have gotten a brand new version of the character rather than just getting a re-release of the old version. But either way is actually pretty good because I think that we just need to get this figure back on shelves. But, you know, as long as we're getting her, I'm happy. Just one thing I really don't want to happen is if they archive release her and then do another re-release in the 40th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith packaging. I just called it Revenge of the Sith. Return of the Jedi packaging. If they do like 2 releases within a year, then that's when I think the figure's going to start peg warming, and at that point you shouldn't have just archived it in the first place. But either way, I am still happy that she's getting a re-release. Next up, for Black Series, I'm guessing these are probably going to be mainline figures except for one of them. We got 3 new ones. 2 of them we kind of knew were coming. One of them is a complete surprise, and I am actually glad we're getting it. First up is, of course, Aayla Secura. Super happy about Aayla Secura getting a release. We've known about her for a while, but it's nice to finally get official confirmation. Next up is Season 7 Clone Wars Darth Maul. This is absolutely insane. Super happy we're finally getting this figure. We've been asking for it forever. We've gotten Clone Wars Ahsoka over a year ago now, and it's just really nice to get Darth Maul to go with him. So yeah, that's a relief. I'm really happy we're getting him. Last up is a Deluxe Sal Guerrera. This is another one that we've had rumored for quite a while, and yeah, I'm pretty happy that we're getting this figure as well. The only problem is Hasbro team has come out and said that all these pipeline figures probably won't hit like store shelves until the end of 2023 / beginning of 2024. That's 2 years. So by that logic, the whole Aayla Secura, Ki-Adi-Mundi, ARC Trooper Jesse wave probably won't hit stores until end of 2023, beginning of 2024 as well, which really sucks. We gotta wait 2 years for this wave. At that point, I'm kind of at like the level, why even pipeline them if you're not gonna release them for 2 full years? It is really ridiculous. These pre-orders are really getting out of hand. The Black Series Tython Boba Fett, I guess the Jedi Ruins version, was not supposed to ship until February of 2023, which is over a year away. And the Dark Trooper wasn't supposed to ship until May of 2023. So at this point, why are we even putting these figures up for pre-order so early? Like 15 months is a long time. That's like Hot Toys Sideshow level. But the pre-orders are still selling out in minutes. I don't get this at all. I don't know. It just blows my mind. You know, at this point, you're going to have to reveal the 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi wave right now and put it up for pre-order right now if you want us to even get it in hand in 2023 during the 40th anniversary. At this point, I don't even know anymore. Hasbro also did come out and say a few different things about some already revealed products. First up, about Wave 31. This wave will go for pre-order tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time at all of the places you normally get Black Series figures. And unfortunately, though, it won't start hitting store shelves until the beginning of 2023, so a full year from now. And at that point, this is already hitting Target stores now. Why won't the pre-orders ship until a year from now if it's already hitting stores? Don't get that at all. And yeah, the whole pre-order situation is going to drive me crazy. They also talked about Muddy Mando and how this figure is actually not going to go for pre-order, and it will be able to, I guess, be purchased from Target.com on the 27th of March. But you know, people have been able to purchase this figure now for 2 weeks on Target.com. It's been going in and out of stock. So what have people been buying if it's not supposed to go up until the 27th of March? I don't know. I'm lost. I am actually running out of time, so I'll just throw up the TVC pipeline figures right now. Pretty cool. I actually do really like this, the Mandalorian Commando. It's going to go great with your Season 7 Maul and Ahsoka. And of course, it is the 20th anniversary Attack of the Clones. We're giving Anakin some love. But yeah, that is going to do it for the video. If you did enjoy it, the like button and subscribe. Comment down below, what do you guys think of all these figures? And I'll see you guys in the next video.